We'll start from scratch here. I have a character body 3D with a mesh instance and collision shape as children, as well as a spring arm 3D for third-person movement. This code will work with the first-person camera as well. In my test scene, I've just simply got a floor and two walls. Inside of project settings, I'm going to update the default gravity to be 40 because I find 9.8 to be too floaty. I'm going to start with default character body movement as my base, as you can see here. This allows for very basic movement and jumping from a fixed camera angle. I'm now going to allow for camera movement. This function here will update the rotation of my camera based on the mouse movement. And this line of code here will update the direction that our character is going to move in based on the rotation of the camera. Our current movement script is either moving at max speed or it's stopped. And I want to make it more smooth like we can see on the right here. So I'm going to replace this speed constant with acceleration and friction constants instead. And then I'm going to add onto the velocity our acceleration, and we don't need this slowdown value anymore. What we need instead is to slow down our velocity by the friction. In order to determine if the player should normal jump or wall jump at any particular time, we need to keep track of the state of the player using these constants here. These are all pretty self-explanatory, as is the additional function that we will use to update the state of the player each frame. We'll have to also include after the move slide function in our process function. So we're going to add the jumping logic. So I'm going to change my constants up here to change the jump velocity based on the gravity increase you made and have an additional wall jump velocity constant. Then I'm going to write a new function to check what the jump is and jump in a different way based on whether we are on the wall or on the floor. If we're on the floor, we'll jump just as we did before. But if we're on the wall, we're going to jump a little bit less high and push away from the wall. The way we do that is by increasing our velocity in the direction of the normal of the wall, which is just another fancy way of saying the direction facing away from the wall, so the direction we should be jumping in. And we are going to add this check up here, so we're going to check jump in here. And we no longer need our old jump logic. Next, I'll add wall sliding. I'm making another constant for our wall friction here. If we're on the wall, we want to slow our descent. So we're going to multiply our y speed, y velocity by our friction amount. Finally, I'm going to add directional jumping. We'll need another constant for this. And all I'm going to do is pass the direction, which is stored in a variable, as an argument in our check jump function. And what I'm going to do is add the direction on the keyboard when we wall jump onto our existing wall jump velocity. And there we have it. I'll post the code in the description of this video, adjust the constants in it to make the character feel however you like. Post any questions you have in the comments below.